Steve here with FBTV. Look, Pet Achievers is back alive in some form or fashion. I saw a question, hey, do the Pet Achievers who were there prior, do they get basically a pass? I told them if we ever do any events, they're good to come, and I did mean it. Here's the challenge. Instagram doesn't have all the tools that we have when we were like, if we're running it on Wix or something. And IG is the place where a lot of people live and ask me a ton of questions. So I've kind of got to play within the rules, but for one, if you've been a pet achiever, if you were a pet achiever, if you're still pet achieving, you don't need me by now. You've got the books, you've got the information, you've got the math. You kind of know what to do. Don't stress about it. What I do believe you're really asking is, hey, I want to be a part of this community. I want to be a part of the exact thing that I felt good about. Because to be clear, we had almost 100 people up in that booger for over 2 or 3 months. I think it was almost 3 or 4 months where we was maintaining 100 to 109 people that were in support of learning and taking care to the dogs to the best of their ability. So what's going to happen on Instagram if you join the Pet Achievers and eventually here on YouTube as well is this is week 1 starting Monday. Everyone needs to have these things as far as the meal's concerned. If you want to add something extra, you add these things on the side. I break all this stuff down in detail and I go video by video. There'll be custom lives in this particular thing on Instagram, people. To be clear, on Instagram. Again, I'll figure out how to really work it on YouTube, and I gotta be honest, I don't know what's going on or how any of it works. But what I have thought about is we've missed some components in terms of community. And there are people who, for one, always, man, I'm willing to pay for tips. It's not about that, man. It's not about that. The beauty about doing the work is that the work will work itself out when everybody's doing the work. What that means is if I speak, then I turn around and create a minister. For those who've been to church, you have people who minister. And they do what? They say, let me encourage these people. You turn around, you turn some folks, me up here, into disciples. Those are people who go out and really pour into people and say, hey, you got to do it this way. This is what works. Oh, I know how to solve that problem. See what I'm saying? And it keeps just trickling down. So when a community is created, it kind of solves its own problems because most people are there for one reason, and that's to make sure their dog achieves the best quality of life possible. And that's why I exist, because I'm trying to package care at the highest level. So if you're interested in learning more, doing more for your dog, and let me be very clear, doing this for your dog will encourage you to do a little better for yourself, then please join, because all the extra questions, even some of the, I'm going to find a way to incorporate breeding stuff in there as well. I started answering messages again for a little bit, and I said, Lord have mercy. Not only is the same thing, but put in perspective, for every 1,000 followers I get, people see something that sparks an interest, which means I get the same question in a different form. And I'm not saying, for every 1,000, you get 3 to 5 new questions. Because people say, oh, I like that. Oh, I really appreciate that. Oh, that really makes sense. See what I'm saying? So you really never get a break in basically repeating step 1. So this purpose of this is organize step 1 to step 10 and potentially get you to step 100. We got a lot of stuff coming, but all this right here is just one meal. And you don't know how all this works unless you're in that Pet Achieving group on Instagram, and eventually I'll bring it to YouTube, people. Take care of your dog. Stay tuned. If you want to learn more about feeding your dog, what to add from raw, cooked, to enhancing simply just your dog food, join the club.